Shalom, my name is Tirsa Lewis with the Rekakad Israeli Beit Midrash. This is Hebraic Womanhood 101 Episode 4, and today's topic is discretion. As a jewel of gold in a swine's snout, so is a fair woman which is without discretion. Proverbs 11 verse 22. I did not say that. That is what Solomon, who was the wisest man ever, said. He said that a fair woman that's without discretion, a beautiful woman who's without discretion, is like a jewel of gold in a swine's snout. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want to be a woman who lacks discretion. I don't want to be counted with the foolish women. The English definition of discretion, according to Merriam-Webster, is 1. Individual choice or judgment, power of free decision. 2. The quality of having or showing discernment or good judgment. 3. The ability to make responsible decisions. And 4. The result of separating or distinguishing. So first, discretion requires us to be able to make a choice or a judgment. It requires us to have a will. As children, choices are often made for us. We make choices for our children. And it's not until we get older that we can begin to start making choices and decisions for ourselves. So when decisions are left at our discretion, what kind of decisions do we make? And we can make good decisions and we can make bad decisions. And from the English dictionary, it says that discretion is the quality of having or showing discernment or good judgment. Good judgment. So discretion requires us to be able to grasp and understand something. And it requires us to be able to classify things. So I get to classify what's good and I get to classify what's bad, and I get to make a responsible and good decision about things. It requires more than instinct, but it requires advanced brain power and advanced comprehension, and it requires us to have a will to do something, or an ability to make a decision about something. So these decisions aren't being made for us. The Hebrew word for discretion in this verse is ta'am, which means a taste, advice, understanding, and judgment. And this is kind of interesting because my son, my husband, and my at my ultrasound observed that our oldest son, it seemed like he reached up in the placenta and licked the top of the placenta in the ultrasound. And because of that, his middle name, we named him Ta'am, which means a taste or advice or understanding. So let's just think about what thought process goes into tasting food. When we taste something in our mouth, we kind of allow it to linger in our palate. We kind of allow it to linger on our tongue, and we incorporate texture, we incorporate temperature, we incorporate smell, we incorporate sight, and we decide if it's sweet or if it's sour. So we start categorizing, right? And we decide if it's bitter, and then we come to a judgment after all of this filtering and all of these, considerations that we have, and we say, oh, this tastes good, or oh no, this is disgusting. So we have these filters that we have, that we think about these things. Discretion is at the core of wisdom. It says that Yahweh by wisdom hath founded the earth, by understanding he hath established the heavens. By his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion, so shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then shalt thou walk in thy ways safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. That's Proverbs 3, verses 19 through 23. But it says to keep sound wisdom and discretion. A lack of wisdom will result in a lack of discretion. A lack of discretion is the result of a lack of maturity. And a lack of maturity is the result of a lack of relationship with the Almighty. As Hebrew women, we should walk in wisdom, in the wisdom of our Elohim as a matter of fact. If I say I'm a Hebrew woman, if I say I'm a woman of the Most High, then that should mean something. That should mean that I'm walking in the wisdom and in relationship and in the discretion of Yahweh. As we mature, we grow in wisdom. So when certain situations may unfold, we take them in and we taste them and we perceive them. Remember that Hebrew word ta'am. We filter them through wisdom, through the wisdom of the Most High. And we are not quick to react. When we see things, we kind of follow them through to their end result. When we make our life decisions, we don't do them based off of instinct and we don't do them based off of impulse, but we think about, where is this decision going to lead me? So that years later, I'm not dealing with a negative consequence for a decision that I made 20 something years ago. We have to think about, will this choice lead to destruction or will it lead to life? Is this decision that I'm making within my form, my function, and my purpose? Is this choice that I want to make operating in my spiritual identity, or is it operating in carnality? A fool operates in the moment and off of instinct, but a mature and wise woman operates off of discretion. And that takes strength, because sometimes we have to withhold what we really truly want, what our will is, because we understand that we aren't in control of our lives, that we are allowing that Ruach, that spirit of Yahweh, to rule and to reign in us. A woman who walks in discretion cannot be tossed to and fro by doctrines, by people, or by situations. She will not be fooled or knocked off of the path that she's walking upon. A woman who operates in discretion executes with precision. She isn't sloppy. Her decisions don't undo her. Her decisions, even down to the conversations that she's willing to have with people, show wisdom and discretion. It's important to recognize that discretion can look different at different times. For example, one may by discretion not say everything that she feels in the moment, because she understands that it's not wise to just say things because they're true and because they're real. But at other times, it might be really extremely necessary for her to say something in the moment. It might be very necessary for her to drop some truth on a person or on a situation. But she has filters that allows her to perceive the situation and also the outcome. We must teach our daughters wisdom and discretion by example. We must teach them when they are young and they might lack some discretion in certain areas, that they should and that they should go to older women to ask for advice on certain things. For example, the man who might show interest in you, or the career path that might seem so right, or the financial decision that might put you in debt. How to be a wife and how to be a mother, and navigating difficult, life decisions. And we have so many of those in our lives. So while we are kind of new and young into this, we can, first of all, we should pray and ask the Most High for his help, but we can also go to people who are wise and understanding, people who have been around a lot longer, talking about our elders. If you're a daughter, go and talk to your mother, go talk to your father, different things like that. If there's any elders or mores, go and talk to them. Any elder women, go and talk to them. We can the scripture says that there's wisdom in a multitude of counselors. It can take years of experience before you have discretion, especially if you're a young child that's 18, 17, and you're just starting to be able to make some real decisions in your life that can affect forever. It's important for you to operate in wisdom and operate in discretion, and part of that is to understand that you still have a lot to learn. But eventually, as we all grow in faith and wisdom, and as the Most High prunes us and we become more and more yielded to the mind of Messiah, we will get that discretion. And at that time, we will find ourselves as wise as we are beautiful. As I look back over my own life, I could see how for my particular situation, the thing that I had to grow in with discretion was being an outspoken person and feeling like I had to tell people, how I felt and when I felt it, and I wanted everybody to know. But as I grew and as I made mistakes, I learned through making mistakes that was not the right thing to do. And so as we make mistakes in life, and everybody makes mistakes, nobody is perfect, we should apply new filters to our taste buds for future decisions. So we shouldn't make the same mistakes in the future as we made in the past. So we desire discretion, we should, first of all, learn how to learn from our mistakes and learn how to put new filters up. But we should also pray that Yah will take away the taste and the desire for things that don't please him as well. Because remember, when we're talking about discretion, we're talking about tasting, we're talking about understanding things. And so we don't want to put these things through a carnal understanding or a carnal taste process, but we want our taste and our desires even to line up with the Almighty's. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Elohim, that giveth to all men liberally and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. James 1 verse 5. So if any of you are lacking in wisdom, pray and ask Yahweh to give you wisdom, to give you discretion, and grow in relationship with him. Get into his word and learn the things that please him. And you will begin to the process of walking in discretion. And then we will be as wise as we are beautiful. If you have any comments, you can just put them in the comments section. If you'd like to send me an email, my email address is direcakad.oneway@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We should have plenty more lessons for women and lessons within this series. Shalom.